Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really practical, a whole stack of research, actually, about getting big results from, well, pretty small efforts.
That's right. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, maybe, but it's all about efficiency. We're looking at habit formation specifically for learning and pulling out strategies from sources that talk about these small, powerful bites of practice.
Yeah, bite to practice, snack learning, as the sources call it.
Exactly. So our mission today is basically to give you the blueprint, both the science and the practical steps for weaving serious learning into your day without, feeling totally overwhelmed.
Okay, so first step,
Yeah.
let's bust that myth.
Right, the big one. The sources really hit on this common idea that success means huge actions, total transformation.
Yeah, that you gotta study for hours, read stacks of books, change everything at once. Like, if you're not feeling the pain, it's not working. Right. That whole mindset.
But the research we looked at, it kind of pushes back hard on that.
Yeah.
It argues that real lasting change doesn't usually come from one big, heroic effort.
Not the giant leap.
No, it's the sum of lots and lots of tiny moments,
Yeah.
small, repeatable actions that add up.
So we're unpacking that power, how these little snacks of learning compound over time, making the action like so small you almost can't skip it.
Mhm. Snack learning. Short, simple, done often. Which, let's face it, fits modern life way better than blocking out 3 hours you don't have.
Okay, let's get concrete. There's a great analogy in the source material about teeth, which sounds weird, but stick with us.
Oh yeah, the teeth analogy, it's perfect. It immediately clicks, doesn't it? Like you don't brush your teeth for 2 hours once a month and expect good results.
Right, that would be ridiculous and probably painful.
Exactly, that intense burst. It's useless for maintenance. The whole point is the consistency. Those 2 minutes every single day, that's what keeps your teeth healthy. It's the frequency.
And learning, the sources argue, works just the same way. It's not about that one epic all-night study session before the exam.
Nope. It's about building that streak. Even if the streak is made of, like, tiny little bricks. 5 minutes listening, 5 minutes speaking, 5 minutes just shadowing someone, repeating what they say.
But here's the thing, that 5 minutes, it can feel like nothing, right? Like, am I even doing anything? Is this really practice?
That's the mental hurdle, absolutely. It feels insignificant now. But the sources are super clear on this. These tiny, consistent actions are exactly what builds those big results later on. You have to trust the process and prioritize just showing up frequently over trying to be heroic occasionally.
Okay, I get the consistency part, but, if it feels so small, doesn't that also make it easy to just stop because you don't feel like you're making progress? How does the science help with that feeling?
Okay, yeah. That's where the science gets really cool, actually,
Yeah.
because it backs up the small effort. When you repeat an action, even a tiny one, your brain physically changes. It's not just metaphorical.
You're actually rewiring things.
You are literally building structures.
Mm-hmm.
The sources use this metaphor of building a new path, a new road in your brain.
Right. I liked that one. It's like trying to walk through tall grass the first time. It's slow, it's hard work, you stumble. That's like trying to remember a new word or concept.
Exactly. And each repetition, that's like walking that same path again and again. You tread down the grass, you smooth it out, you're strengthening that specific connection. It makes it easier to travel next time.
So you're not adding more grass, you're just making the path clearer.
Precisely. And that strengthening, that's what leads to automaticity, making something automatic.
Okay, so let's apply that, say, learning a language. At first, trying to speak feels painful. You're stopping, searching for the word, translating in your head. It takes so much mental energy.
hmm But with that small daily practice, repeating phrases, shadowing, you start to bypass the conscious effort bit by bit. The words just come out faster. Your mouth physically forms the sounds more easily.
It moves from being this heavy cognitive lift to something that just kind of flows.
Right. Because the path is paved. It's smooth. It's automatic.
So the real breakthrough here isn't just saving time, it's that these small habits kind of bypass the whole motivation problem.
That's a huge part of it. They're light, as the sources say, easy. They don't need this big burst of willpower to get started.
Like brushing your teeth, you don't need to psych yourself up for it.
Exactly. And you don't need to feel motivated to spend, say, 2 minutes repeating a sentence you just heard. The activation energy is super low.
So you make it almost inevitable.
That's the goal. Real learning, sustainable learning, starts not when you feel super motivated, but when the barrier to just doing the thing is so low, you basically can't fail to do it.
Okay, so if the science says tiny actions work, how do we actually implement this? What's the strategy to make sure we stick with it and don't fall into that trap of starting big and then quitting after a week?
Right, the secret strategy. And well, it's almost laughably simple. Start small, like really small.
Smaller than you think you need to.
Probably yes, because the common mistake, the failure point, is getting all excited and planning like, I'll study for an hour every day.
Which sounds great on day one.
Sounds amazing. Until day 3, when life happens, you miss it, you feel guilty, and then poof, the whole plan collapses.
Been there, done that.
We all have. So the success strategy, according to this material, is flipping that.
No.
Plan for 5 minutes. Plan for 2 minutes. Make the habit, and this is the key phrase, too easy to fail.
Too easy to fail. I like that. That's the benchmark. If it feels like a chore, it's probably still too big.
Exactly. And then you weave it in. Integration is key. The sources give some nice examples like shadowing an audio clip while you're making coffee.
Or whispering sentences while you brush your hair, or maybe on your walk to work.
Right, these little micro moments that don't require you to schedule study time in capital letters.
Okay, let me push back slightly here. If I'm shadowing while walking or making coffee, am I really focused? Is there a trade-off? Are we sacrificing depth for consistency here, especially early on?
That's a really good question, and the sources do kind of address this. The initial goal of this snack learning isn't necessarily deep analytical comprehension right away. It's about building the habit, the muscle, the path.
Ah, okay. It's about the automatization first.
Exactly. It's making the process itself feel effortless and second nature. That high-frequency, low-friction practice greases the wheels. The deep work, the intense focus on meaning that can come after the basic skill feels more automatic. You make the physical act easy first.
Got it. So you smooth out the mechanics, then you can focus on the content later. That makes sense. These small moments are repeatable.
And that repeatability is the engine. That's what drives the growth. Because once 5 minutes feels like nothing, truly automatic.
It's easy to let it become 10 minutes.
Right. It grows organically. 10 might become 20. Eventually, the thing you're learning just becomes part of the fabric of your day rather than this big scheduled event you have to brace yourself for.
Okay, to really nail this down, the source material had this fantastic case study, a story about a student that really shows how powerful this tiny steps approach can be.
Oh, yeah, that was a great example. This is someone who was apparently really shy, very afraid of speaking, making mistakes in front of others, that classic performance anxiety.
Which stopped him from doing anything big, like signing up for a class or joining a group.
Right. The stakes felt too high. So
Yeah.
what did he do? Did he force himself into some terrifying public speaking situation?
Nope. He started smaller, much smaller. He committed to just talking to himself out loud for 2 minutes every morning.
2 minutes. That was it. His too easy to fail habit.
And you can see the progression so clearly in the story. At first, it was just simple stuff, right? Like narrating what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting ready now. I'm making coffee. Super basic, low pressure, just getting used to the act of speaking.
But because he was doing it every day, that path was getting built. So after a few weeks,
He started saying more complex sentences, naturally. And then get this, after just 2 months of this little 2-minute daily ritual,
he was telling short stories to himself.
yeah, still just to himself, but the complexity had grown massively. The fluency was building. And the confidence, implicitly,
And then the big payoff.
after 6 months. 6 months of this tiny, consistent daily habit, the internal skill and confidence had built up so much that he actually went out and joined a local speaking club.
Wow. Okay, that's a massive jump from 2 minutes talking to yourself in the bathroom mirror to joining a club.
It's huge. It's a total shift in behavior, driven by what looks like a ridiculously small initial investment. 2 minutes a day. It changed his skill, it changed his confidence, it literally changed his social interactions.
The conclusion seems pretty clear then.
I think so. If we pull it all together, the core message from these sources is stop chasing those massive, overwhelming goals that often lead to burnout and quitting. Build small habits, tiny ones,
Yeah.
things you can sustain, because those small habits, they change your learning. They build real confidence from the ground up. Ultimately, they change you.
And this isn't just language learning, right? This applies across the board.
Oh, absolutely. Learning an instrument, coding, getting fitter, understanding a complex subject at work, anything that requires building skill or knowledge over time. Find that tiny, repeatable action.
That low friction, light action, as you said, something you can just do.
Yeah. And the sources suggest, if you just commit to that consistency, just keep showing up for that tiny action, you'll likely be genuinely surprised by your own progress down the line. It sort of creeps up on you because it doesn't feel like hard work.
Okay, so let's leave everyone with this final thought to mull over. If
Yeah.
the goal is to make the habit too easy to fail, what's one specific, tiny, repeatable action you could start today?
Yeah. What's something so ridiculously easy you know you'll do it no matter what?
Maybe it's 2 minutes of shadowing, like the student. Maybe it's reading one page. Maybe it's doing one math problem. Find that thing.
Do it and see how quickly you might surprise yourself.
We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.